Hello everyone. Now if you're enjoying these plein air painting videos, hit that like button or let me know in the comments below. Now in this video I aim to show you how to use temperature to establish your focal point, and I have a nice little tip for you at the end. So this is a scene I decided to paint, and I've slowed down this section of it. I'm just sketching it out. This is a little bit different as I took the picture of the scene on my phone, and I'm using my phone just to lay out or establish the boundaries of it, and then from there I can just use the scene itself to start sketching from. And putting in some trees and the grass plane that is between the two waterways. Looking at everything more linearly than organically. It's easy to draw a straight line than it is a curved line. Putting in this tree here, and I'm always conscious of distances between items. And here I decided to erase that tree, put it closer to the edge, so it actually falls off the edge of the board here. And establishing the shadows, I always establish the shadows right away. Especially if they're really interesting. That way when the sun moves and they disappear, I have a mark of where they are. And I'll keep on adding my trees here, and then you'll see the spacing becomes too even, so I'll move that tree that I erased a little bit over and closer to the highlight tree that you'll see you start painting soon enough. And sort of the background, sort of arbitrary. A little tree on the left to help keep you within the painting. And I start pulling out the paints, establishing the lights of the grass that I see and the shadows in that specific area, just because it's there right now and I don't have to chase it. Moving into the background, putting in some of my cooler grasses in the shadows, just laying in overall values more or less, trying to cover that white. There's a little highlighted path on the background you'll see me play with, and the waterway was really warm back there, and I decided to put it cooler up front to create a gradation, more or less, to create a cool to warm gradations. Here I decided to put red in all the trees. You'll see me keep the highlighted tree warmer than the rest, and I'll cool the rest of the trees as well. And really reflections in the water, and you can see I really push that red in the highlight tree. And I move into the violets and blues, into the other arbitrary trees in the background and the sides. Just in the background here, more or less, trying to put in some skies, just to create a sense of interest in the background more than anything. It's just there for context, not there for the entire painting. A really, really bright day, so I put these blue or cooler trees in really dark, but you'll see me adjust them to a lighter value later, just so they push back a little bit farther. A little bit of highlights on those cool trees just to establish some shape, more of a note for myself. Looking into the warmer tree in the foreground there. Some warm violets in the shadows, and as I move in I start putting in a little bit warmer, more yellow tans for the highlights. Working in the back trees, back and forth, always back and forth. Trying to establish the value of those back trees, reducing them a little bit, and you'll see me push them down a little bit farther later. Put that nice highlight on that tree of interest there, and I start working in the background a little bit more, trying to put the highlights on the grass. And then into the water, keeping it warm, but you'll see me fill it in there, a little bit darker value, but it still maintains that warm feeling, especially compared to the water in the front, which is a lot cooler. And there's a little stream of water there, gurgling brook waterfall in the center there that I try to start to develop. A little variation in the water in front. You'll see me reduce the value of it in a second there, but just trying to establish the idea of the flowing water. And working in the backwater there a little bit more, trying to create a sense of sheen on it. You'll see me work that in a bit though. More near the end of the painting, starting to establish lights and darks and cools within the waterfall, and then I'll start bringing in lights, which you'll see me highlight a little bit later. A little bit more play back and forth, using a smaller brush to put in this stringy tree, I guess, a little bit. It juxtaposes the rest of the trees, which is a little more beefy, a little more broad, so it provides a nice contrast to them. Filling in the darks in the foreground there, trying to establish the bank. A little bit of knife work here and there, really not quintessential to the painting itself. Just trying to have the foreground sit with the darks. Scratching it in, playing with that background a little bit more. Now here I sign the painting as I think it's done, but then I go away and then I come back and to review my painting, and you'll see what I do next. And this is the beauty of oil paints, right? Here I start wiping away the oils that I had within the stream and working on a white board, it comes off so nice, and you can see how well it creates the beautiful sense of light within that water. And this is what I love about oils, right? You can come back after 2 hours and wipe away and get a beautiful effect you could never achieve with just paints alone. There I'm kind of subduing the wiping away that I did, adding it back so the focus is really there, just above that little stream. There I'm pushing back that back tree just to get a little deeper sense of depth. And then you'll see me do a piece de resistance on the water in a bit. Here I just added a log over the grasses just to prevent you from going off the edge of the canvas there, the bottom of the canvas there. A little bit more wipe work, and a little rigger work as well, just to give it a little fine lines within all these broad brush strokes that I'm using. Trying to establish some lights and dark in the background, just for variety, just to give it a sense of interest more than anything. And coming up, you'll see me mix a little bit of white with some yellow, and that's what I'll be using for the highlight on the water. A little adjustment in the background there. I think I go a little bit lighter as well to create a little sense of depth looking through the background trees. Yep, and this is the beautiful highlight on the water. The yellow warm mixture right in the water splashing. And so this is the final piece, a little detailed shot of it. Now if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and share it with your friends. It'd be greatly appreciated. And always don't forget to subscribe.